there you are. I feel like I've been waiting for you my entire life. It has been, let's see now, 2 days. 2 days since we have seen each other. What a long and strange road it's been since then. Not really. For the past 2 days, friends, I have been holed up doing things, which I'll explain in a minute. Because first I should explain where we are. Do you know where we are? More importantly, when we are. We're in another Sometimes. Because it's the Sometimes vlog! It's a vlog that happens sometimes. No Tyler Evans up here. Just me and the snakes and the scorpions. Yeah, 6 years in the mud and the rain. Walking the beat. Anyway, I'm up here on a windy precipice. I hope you can hear me despite the wind. Again, once more, I didn't have time to build the vlog to scale or to paint it. But I am hiking up here high above the city. Well, not high above some parts of it. The city of Anaheim. And down there is Orange. And down there is Santa Ana, Orange, Garden Grove, and more Anaheim. And way down there, you could just see the glistening dome of the Honda Center where the Mighty Ducks are going to have a game, I believe, tonight. And of course, Buena Park is down there. That's very far. And way out there, I don't know if you can see, way out there, that shiny sliver is the mighty Pacific Ocean. Home, Orange County, California. Perched high above it. Look at this. A little foreshadowing. Marty McFly could build his new house right up here with all his millions from the Back to the Future franchise, or selling Doc Brown's patents, or maybe he'll go back and get another copy of Gray's Sports Almanac. 50 years of sports statistics. This is hardly recreational reading, Marty. Well, Doc, what's wrong with going back and placing a few bets? Okay, so anyway, so for 2 days I have been not communicating. That's because yesterday I spent all day painting away and sending back some letters to all of you wonderful people who sent letters, and sealing up envelopes full of drawings of Jeff Heimbach and Tyler Evans for everyone who has so generously and wonderfully donated to the Random Land Gas Adventure Fund, which is fantastically wonderful of all of you. I can't think because it's very, very hot. It's about 100 degrees, and I am hiking up here in long sleeves in the sunlight going down over the Pacific Ocean. The sun is right in my face, and I gotta watch out for treacherous cacti. The day before that, I was actually pretty sick, so I slept in. I went to Disneyland, hung out with Adam the Woo, but by the time it was nighttime, I thought, we'll do the vlog tomorrow. It is, after all, a Sometimes vlog. I can't always get to it every day, but I try my best to hang out with you people, my favorite people, as often as I can, which usually ends up being every day. Let's not be dishonest. But yes, generously donated to the gas fund. The donate button is still on livefastlifepoor.com if you would like to do that. But in between, every once in a while, I paint paintings. I'm no Picasso, I am no Claude Monet, nor am I an Edvard Munch. Probably my favorite painter of that era, Edvard Munch. Of course, most famous for The Scream, but also Evening on Carl Johan, Sick Room, other amazing paintings. I really hope you can hear me. It's very, very windy up here. That Pacific Ocean air is coming up here. It actually feels kind of nice. It doesn't feel like 100 degrees. Anyway, because of this, I thought, why not, as another fundraiser, as a separate thing, a more fun fundraiser where you get something better than just a funny drawing of Jeff Heimbach, why not put some of those paintings up for sale or for bid on eBay? So I have done that, 2 paintings so far, although there are a lot more in the works, just because I make them anyway. Well, why not? Usually when I'm done with paintings, I stick them in a garage and they kind of get dusty until somebody inevitably throws them out. So why not stick them up there as a fundraiser? I'm trying to do something that are very Random Land themed. So the first one's just a little guy, just a little test of Frank swimming from the old Disneyland Submarine History Random Land. So that is up on eBay, I think, right now. And also a zoom in of an illustration I did of Walt Disney. It was actually Walt Disney and Walter Knott in the original, of the face. So it's a front facial close-up portrait of none other than Walter Elias Disney, which I did. Kind of minimalist. It's very much in the style of those illustrations from Random Land that you see in all those videos. So those are up on eBay right now. Sorry if you can't see my eyeballs. I have to shade myself from the brutal sun. Anyway, okay. So that's all out of the way. That's what I've been up to. That's what I've been doing. All of you donors, I have compiled envelopes and put things in envelopes and written little notes. I just have to go get some stamps and send them. So I'm going to attempt to go by the post office, see if I can buy some stamps from the stamp machine. Hopefully it won't be closed. I can see a bunch of rabbits moving around over there. I don't know how well you'd be able to see that on camera or hear it because the wind, because the sun is right in the face. So anyway, I hope you can hear this at all. If not, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't want to go another 2 days without communicating with my favorite folks, which is all of you. Anyway, so that's what's been going on. As far as the quest for positivity goes, it's been going very well. Sometimes some very harsh things happen. You know what's crazy is I always get into some shenanigans with my mouth because I am very honest. I'm a very honest person. I do not fancy lying. Lying is one of my least favorite things. I don't have any schemes or tricks up my sleeve. Oh, there's a rabbit right there. See in the path? He's munching on something delicious. Oh, I don't see what he could possibly be munching on there. Bunny. Anyway. Oh, he's eating some cactus fruit. I didn't know rabbits enjoyed cactus. Get out of town. I didn't know you ate anything cactus related. Okay. They're going pretty good. But sometimes you can say things you probably shouldn't say. Put your foot right into a mess you didn't mean to create. Cause some trouble by being a little too honest. Sometimes it's better to just keep silent and be thought a fool rather than open your mouth and remove all doubt. Now that's attributed to Mark Twain and Abraham Lincoln, neither of whom ever said it, but that's a whole other subject. The quest for positivity overall has been going good. As a matter of fact, you can see I've walked way up that hill, all the way down this road, all the way along here, probably about 1.5 miles worth of walking so far. Which brings me to something that I was thinking about this morning, which is that, oh man, I should have gone that way. There's a lovely bench over there. Which is that several years ago, I would say, 6.5 years ago or so, I sustained a very horrible injury. I was standing on a head case, the head of an amplifier. So if you look at, I don't know, Slash or something, you see the speaker cabinet, and then on top, whoa, cricket or something. Crickets don't fly. What the heck was that? On the very top is the thing you plug your guitar into, which is the actual amplifier itself that plugs into those speaker cabinets. We call it the head of the amplifier. There's a metal case for it. I'm standing on it, playing my guitar. It's the last note of the last song of the last practice before a big US tour we were supposed to go out on. And my foot broke through the metal head case, and my body, of course, went down, lurched forward, and snapped my leg. Now, that's not so bad. Breaking a leg, not so bad. I've broken legs before. No big deal. Okay, it's a little bit of a big deal, and it hurts. But the terrible part is I ripped all these ligaments in my leg, and I had to walk with a cane for a very, very long time. And the doctors told me at that time that if I didn't get a surgery, which was very expensive and I could not afford, that I would never walk without a cane again. So I laid around for a long time, pretty miserable, gained a whole lot of weight, if you can believe it. I gained a lot of weight. I weighed about 250 pounds. Compared to right now, I weigh about $155. Told me I would never walk without a cane again. Well, I just walked that whole road without a cane. And that's because I sat there for a long time, feeling bummed out, feeling sorry for myself that this horrible accident had happened to me. The tour was canceled. I let everybody down. And after a while, I decided I'm not going to stay here anymore. So I started getting up. I started walking around. First with the cane for a long time. I started hobbling around. And then day after day, I'd be like, you know what? I'm not going to use the cane. So I would leave the cane against the side of the wall. I would walk around wherever I was and just build up strength, build up strength. Still to this day, those ligaments are detached, ripped apart. I still suffer some chronic pain from time to time, but overall, my spry ankle is as good as ever. And that is because I just didn't want to give up or listen to what they had to say. I think if I'd have given up and listened to what all those doctors had to say, I'd probably still be walking around with a cane, way too young to be walking around with a cane, hobbling around, feeling sorry for myself. It just goes to show you, I mean, that's not a medical miracle or anything, but it just goes to show you that your attitude can change your circumstances, literally. So the quest for positivity has been going very well. Now, there are some people who have criticized, which fine, let them criticize, the quest for positivity in saying that you can't just say, think positive and things will be positive. Absolutely true. That is absolutely true. You can't just think positive and change everything around you. You have to get up and make the changes that you want to see happen in your life. That is 100% true. The thing about a positive attitude is it opens you up, it opens your mind up, frees you of cynicism, so it keeps your mind open to possibilities. If you have a positive attitude, you're probably going to make a lot different of decisions than you would make. I don't know if that's good grammar or not, but let it stay. You're going to make better decisions, different decisions. You're going to keep your eyes open around for positivity. And the other thing is, you're going to have a completely different attitude when it comes to other people. Let's put this out in the universe. There are some bad people in the world. There are a lot of bad people who would like to hurt people. There are also a lot of people that we would like to see as bad who are not bad at all. Maybe something horrible happened to them. Maybe they're cynical on the inside. Maybe they're suspicious and untrustworthy because they've been hurt in the past. So there are a lot of bad people, bad feelings, and bad situations on the planet. But none of us, I don't think, like it, right? So we can either choose to be cynical, everyone is bad, everyone is mean, everyone is horrible, everyone's out to get me. Or we can choose to be, again, where's that magic word? Positive, think the best out of people. Yes, we will get hurt along the way, but I think at the end of the day, we can still go to sleep knowing that we did our best, that we put ourselves out there and put love into the world. It's kind of like, all you need is love, love, love is all you need. I really do believe in that stuff. I really do believe in the power of positivity as a force for change in the world, because it's not so much that positivity in and of itself is some kind of magical formula. It's the removal of cynicism. And if we would like a less cynical and a more helpful, a less suspicious and a more loving, trusting world, personally I believe it has to start with me. And you know what? The quest for positivity started because some bad, horrible things happened to me in my personal life, which I really can't be more specific about. I apologize about that, but I don't want to say anything bad about anybody else. I would never do that, or I would never willingly do that. But some bad things happened to me, and so it was just about, at first, keeping my attitude positive so that I would not give up on living. But it has morphed into something different because I've seen, literally, for myself personally, the power of staying positive and how much I can't control the situations around me. I can control my reaction to them, and in controlling my reaction to them and trying to stay as positive as possible, I have met all kinds of new people. I have made all kinds of new wonderful friends who are now really close to me. If I had remained cynical and jaded, I would still be holed up in a room, holding my legs, rocking back and forth, and maybe, going a little one flew over the cuckoo's nest. But luckily, that is not the case. We're still out having adventures. I have met all kinds of you wonderful people. You sent me letters. I've heard some of your stories, some of which literally, I'm not trying to say this in a joking way, but I don't want my eyes to get sweaty with respect. Some of them literally choked me up. So there's some wonderful, 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 wonderful people in this world. And if all I had thought about is people who had hurt me or drama between me and other people, I would have never been open to the possibility of meeting such wonderful, amazing people. And yes, there's still bad things that happen in the world. But what are we going to do? We're going to lay down? We're going to roll over into these cactuses and die and accept that the world is a bad place? I think the world is a beautiful, wonderful place full of amazing people. And yes, maybe most of them are all terrified of each other, but there's no reason to be. Because after all, look at that. The sun's going to come up tomorrow. These wonderful mountains will still be here. There's all kinds of things to do and to see and to be. That was another thing I wanted to talk about. I've been thinking about a lot lately. I'm just sharing some of my thoughts and feelings with you. It's not directed at anybody or any kind of passive-aggressive things. It's kind of my least favorite thing in the world. Passive-aggressive. But again, maybe I'm too far the opposite way because, like I was saying earlier, sometimes my honest, what I'm thinking goes straight out my mouth. It often gets me into trouble. But that's neither here nor there. Another thing I've been thinking about is dreams. People say, live your dreams. I've just seen some cynicism about that stuff, about being whoever you want to be, and you can be whatever you dream of being. I've been going to the Walt Disney Family Museum a lot, working on a little bit of a video about that. Don't tell anybody. Seeing the way that Walt Disney failed and then built something and then failed and then built something and failed and built something. And even after he had built this mighty empire, he kept coming up with new ideas that people said were crazy. There's no way to accomplish that wall, and he never gave up and built this whole thing. And so, you know, it's very inspirational. People like that really inspire me. So talking a lot about dreams and seeing some cynicism, some feedback on that, like, no, not everyone can be what they want. Listen. When I was younger, I wanted to be in a rock and roll band. So you know what I did? I got up, 17 years old, and joined a rock and roll band. I wanted to go on tour, so I went on tour. I made it happen. But look at me now. I am not a rock star. 15 years of work, not a rock and roll star. But that's okay. So maybe some people could point at that and say, you didn't become what you dreamed of becoming. But you know what? I did it. I went out and did it. I lived it. I met thousands of people. I stayed in all kinds, hundreds and hundreds of people's homes. Saw all different types of families, all different types of people. Mark Twain has this great quote from being a riverboat pilot back in the day, where he says he's familiar with all types of human nature because when he meets a man, he knows him already. Met him on the river. And I kind of feel like that about going on tour, all these places. And I'm very familiar with sort of human nature, and I've met a lot of different people and had all these great experiences. Now, I could, like the high school football hero who never made it into the NFL and sits lonely and depressed in his room. I've known a few of those. I could sit there and say, oh, I never made it to the top of the radio, which wasn't my goal anyway, but I could. I'm just saying this is a for instance, guys. I could say that, or I could say, look at that. I made a bunch of records. I made tons of friends, had tons of experiences, traveled more than probably 99% of the people around me have ever traveled, had more experiences than probably 99% of the people around me. So that's not a failure. The other thing is, I may be older now and wiser, have a lot more mileage on me, but there's still no limit to what's possible. There are things that we can all achieve. I truly believe that too. So let the cynicism come. That's fine. People out there would like to hold on to their cynicism. There's nothing I can do to change their minds. I'm not preaching at anybody, but I am sharing personally that I believe it's not over until you're underground. Unless you're a mouse, then you might just be underground for a while and pop up later. It's probably more likely to be over when you're above ground, because that's when the tarantulas come out and get you. Luckily, I am not a mouse. I'm just a skinny Kermit the Frog-like man walking around a mountaintop, talking to my friends who are in this little box. No one knows you're there. So anyway, yes, very positive, thinking lots of positive thoughts, thinking about the things, going at life with a positive attitude. Okay, so there we go. There's a serious sometimes vlog where it was just you and me having a chat, letting you know what's going on. There will be more sometimes vlogs tomorrow. I will try, usually when I miss a day, I try to make up for it with more than one sometimes vlog in the coming day. So tomorrow I'll be back with my friends. Actually, I'll be with them tonight, but tomorrow I'll be back with my friend Adam the Woo and maybe Tyler Evans too. And we'll have some more zany wackiness on the sometimes vlog. But today I just wanted to have a conversation, talk about some of the things I was thinking about. Maybe they didn't make any sense. I apologize if they didn't. But I find this very helpful to sit there and analyze things and go, okay, here are the things that are bad. Here are the things I don't like about my situation, right? Everybody does that. We have a tendency, I think, as human beings to focus on the negative and see the negative as this bigger thing than the positive. Then I like to sit there and either write it down or just mentally kind of keep a list. Here's all the things I don't like right now. Here are all these amazing things, though, that have been going on. It's a count your blessings situation. You sit there and think, well, look at all these people I met. Well, here's a good conversation I had. Well, here was a fun experience I had that you maybe wouldn't have thought about at the end of the day, because all you're thinking about at the end of the day is, I got to pay my taxes, or something mundane or normal or bad that happened. But I like to sit there and kind of stack up pros and cons of the day, pros and cons of the week, pros and cons of the month, and just try to look at life in a different way. And you know what? Usually, if I'm being honest, no matter how angry or frustrated I am, the pros definitely always outweigh the cons. Sometimes they don't. But then I sit there and think, hello. But then I sit there and think, if the pros don't outweigh the cons, whose fault is it? Yes, I can't control my circumstances all the time. Yes, there are other people involved sometimes who can make us angry, control us, tell us what to do, bosses and teachers and professors and such. But the same time, I like to sit there and realize, well, it's my life. I could change it if I want to. So, that's what I'm trying to do. Live every day. Positivity. Okay, we have now gone over 20 minutes. I'm not sure if all this will upload. I hope that it does. Thank you all very much for watching this rambling nonsense. Go over to Facebook, Live Fast Die Poor Facebook. You can see the links to the paintings on eBay. Those monies raised from those paintings, and there'll be more of them if you don't like those particular two. Maybe check back, there'll be some more. Are going towards the Live Fast Die Poor Random Land Gas Fund, keeping that website up. And you can still just donate if you would like to donate. That's very awesome of you. I really feel like art, if we can call all this art, I really feel like the patronage system is sort of coming back. Intellectual property is breaking down. That's a whole conversation for another day. And I really appreciate how much all of you have stuck with us and enjoyed everything we've done so far. We're not even close to being in the middle of all of this amazing stuff. There's so much more adventures to have, and there's so much more life to live. To live would be a big adventure. All right, let's get to living. See you guys on Instagram, Live Fast Die Poor. My Instagram, Justin Scard. LiveFastDiePoor.com. More videos coming up, more adventures, and less of this rambling together on a road. Although, for those of you who, for some strange reason, enjoy these little chats, there will probably be more of these as well. Who can say, okay, we're now over 21 minutes. This is the longest vlog, I think officially, ever. So we're going to cut it off here. I love you all. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.